What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You're watching the Ragin Nation show. This is just a web series. We're talking about all things matter to me in the world of movies. Let's talk about sequels once again, because obviously there are a lot of sequels going on, and the first thing I want to talk about is Jeremy Renner. Jeremy Renner is one of my favorite actors working today, and Jeremy Renner is on fire. Not literally, but figuratively, because not only are we going to see him back reprising his role as Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye in the Avengers Age of Ultron, we are also going to see him reprising his role as Aaron Cross in the new Bourne Legacy sequel. But not only that, it turns out that he's going to be officially reprising his role as Agent Brandt in Mission Impossible 5. So he's definitely going to be coming back working with Tom Cruise, aka Ethan Hunt, to be doing impossible missions in the next sequel in the franchise. So that's very exciting. I love the Mission Impossible franchise, and it's cool to see Jeremy Renner back as Brandt, because I thought he played a very complex character in the fourth one, and it'd be cool to see a further exploration for his character. Mission Impossible 5 will be seeing a December 25th, 2015 release. Now let's talk about another sequel that I have much interest in, and that is Pacific Rim 2. Now, Pacific Rim didn't do too well in the domestic box office, bringing in only $100 million in North America, but worldwide altogether, combined with the international box office sales, it brought in $400 million worldwide. And the DVD and Blu-ray sales have been really well. Obviously, Pacific Rim's Blu-ray is really good home theater demo material, so the sales have been doing really well. And now the studio executives at Legendary Pictures are now considering a sequel, but they're not going to give it a green light until they see a good script turned in. Now, Legendary CEO Thomas Tull mentioned he was definitely open to the idea of considering considering making a Pacific Rim sequel, considering its further success, but like I said, there is no official green light. Now, Guillermo del Toro, the Pacific Rim director, has been secretly working with writer Zach Penn, and what they mean by secretly is that while he's working on other projects, he's been spending a little bit of time on the side working on Pacific Rim 2 script. So looks like it could happen, it could not happen. Maybe, alright? It's all up in the air right now. It really depends on how good that script is going to be when they turn it in to Legendary Pictures. I hope it's good, alright? But it really all depends. So one thing you have to consider with regards to a Pacific Rim movie is that it's a kaiju movie. And in Pacific Rim, we saw robots battling kaijus. So what can they do differently to make this movie, or rather the sequel, be even bigger and better? I mean, are they going to fight bigger kaijus, or are they going to fight a larger army of kaijus? Are they going to fight kaijus that don't come from the Earth's core, or rather from the ocean, but come from outer space? You know what I think they're going to have? What is going to happen for Pacific Rim 2? I think that they're not going to just fight kaijus, but what they are going to fight is each other. Because in Pacific Rim, one thing that we didn't see is Jaegers versus Jaegers. I think there's going to be a renegade band of Jaegers, and then they turn on each other. And maybe it's another group who want to do research on kaijus, and they are defending the kaijus or something. But what I think that's going to happen in Pacific Rim 2, and this is just my prediction, is that they're going to be Jaegers versus Jaegers. And the reason why they're doing this is because they need to make Pacific Rim 2 very different from the original. Alright? And, sometimes fighting bigger kaijus isn't good enough. Alright? Because, the action was really great in the first one, but a part of the audience felt like, we want to see something more. We want to see more. We want to see something different, something unique, something a little bit more creative. All right, especially for a sequel. All right, so why don't you guys let me know in the comment section below what you think is going to happen in Pacific Rim 2, or what you want to see in Pacific Rim 2. All right, so let me know about that. And also, the last thing I want to talk about is Dawn of Justice, which is what Batman vs. Superman is being called, aka Man of Steel 2. And what I want to talk about with regards to Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice is that something very different is going on. We're going to see something very different in Dawn of Justice, and that is because, first of all, we already know that Mark Zuckerberg is playing Lex Luthor. Not Mark Zuckerberg, but Jesse Eisenberg. And Jesse Eisenberg is playing Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, which I think is just too long of a title. Just call it Dawn of Justice. Or Man of Steel 2. But not Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. That's just... oh my god. Anyways, Jesse Eisenberg is playing Lex Luthor in Dawn of Justice. And a lot of fans are very negative about that. They're not very open to that idea. But after I read what is going on with regards to LexCorp, I like what they're doing with LexCorp and Lex Luthor. Okay, imagine this. Justice League versus Facebook. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it turns out that LexCorp is going to be adapted from the way things are running with today's companies. And what are today's companies like? They are startup companies that are put together, or rather assembled from young businessmen and women. All right? These young entrepreneurs, they're the ones that are really setting the stage for the future through their startup tech companies. And this is what LexCorp is. This has been revealed for what LexCorp is going to be like in Dawn of Justice. It's going to be Mark Zuckerberg and his young buddies like Justin Timberlake and all the other buddies from Facebook. And they're going to be the ones who are going to be going up against, or rather the antagonists for the Justice League, or rather Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and Cyborg, or whoever else is added into the mix. And the reason why I like this is because not only does it relate to today's time period, but it also makes LexCorp even more evil. Okay, we are so used to seeing a mature gentleman playing Lex Luthor, like an older fellow. All right, and he has, you know, unlimited means. He has resources. He can do whatever he wants with his, you know, his resources to fight with Superman. But what I like about LexCorp being run by these young entrepreneurs is that they appear more evil because these are young guys. Okay, how much time have they really spent on this planet? Like, how much time does it take to develop into something, like into an evil mind? All right, that's very curious to me. So I'm very curious about the character of Lex Luthor himself, like what was going through his head when he decided that he wanted to go up against superheroes. All right, what is his motive? And I find that it's just a very fascinating take on the whole Justice League story and the antagonist aspect of Justice League. That is very, very neat to me, and I find that it's great because it's not a repeat of something we've already seen. We've seen Lex Luthor portrayed many times, all right? Not only in Smallville, but also in the Bryan Singer movie, and also the classic Gene Hackman version, and also the animated series, the cartoons, the comics. We've seen him played a certain way, all right? And the fans expect him to be played a certain way. I think it's great that Zack Snyder is exploring a new vision for Justice League, and really not just bringing his own style into the mix, but also bringing it to today's times. I think it's time for that change. I know a lot of people don't like the change, especially when they're loyalists to the original source material, but I think this will be very interesting, and I think that I think that a lot of thought was put into this before they decided to go with this direction. And there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. What do you think about LexCorp being run by a bunch of a young tech startup company? What do you think about that? And also, what do you think is going to be the story for Pacific Rim 2? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. Stay tuned for more movie updates and reviews on this channel. Make sure you subscribe. My name is Alex. I'll see you next time. Peace. You know, we want to see something more. We want to see more. We want to see something different, something unique, something a little bit more creative. All right, especially for a sequel.